Okay, welcome back. Today we're going to be looking at the stage one general mathematics assignment, buying a car, and in particular going to look at option three, how to do the savings. So you have your value of your car, but in option three, you're going to take the 2,500 savings and put it into a bank account, which returns interest at 6% per annum compounded monthly. Okay. And the client is also going to add $330 each month to the account. So let's give some ideas how that's going to work. So made some notes on the concept here. All right, so saving with compound interest, the initial deposit is 2,500. All right, 6% per annum compounded monthly and an additional deposit of 330 per month. This is a little bit too complicated for either of our simple formulas, simple interest and compound interest. So we're going to do some sort of system that uses the elements of those formulas and then carries out this operation. My thought process is something like this. So we start with our final value at month zero. So at the beginning, we only have 2,500. All right. And we'll put that in just before January of this year. So after 1 month, you need to calculate the interest by working out. So the way I've gone about doing this, I've used a simple interest formula. This can be used for compound interest if you do it correctly. All right. So we take our present value times by the annual interest rate, and then we're going to calculate the time of this month in years. So we have 31 days in January divided by 365. That gives us $12.74. We add that to the previous final value and also add our monthly deposit of 330. That gives us 2,842 and 74 cents. Okay, then we take that value and we're going to repeat it for the next month. Notice you're taking the previous final value, you've got the same interest rate, and we're calculating for 28 days of February. Okay, and then we add that interest to our present value and add the 330 as well, giving us that amount. So you have to repeat this process effectively until you reach the value of your car, which you're going to purchase outright. So whether that be somewhere between 14 and 16,000, you're going to be doing this for a while. So some people asking if they could just do this in your book. I suppose you can, but it's going to be difficult. So let's show you how we can go about doing this with a spreadsheet. So I've made a little template here. So we've got our initial deposit value, we've got our interest rate as percentage, and we have a monthly deposit value as well. Okay, I've also put in the months and the days per month of the first months, I should say, first year of 2023. We can also adjust this and move on to other things later on. Okay, so let's do the interest calculation first. Actually, no, first of all, I'm going to actually grab my present value. So where you guys should follow along if you can. So equals, click on present value and press enter. And we've got that moved up there. Okay, to calculate the interest. All right, so we're going to do a simple interest calculation. First of all, we need to take our principal. Our principal will always be the previous final value. So equals, and you click up here. All right. Might make that a little bit larger for this purpose. Can't do that yet. All right. So then to multiply, you press star, which is shift 8, if you're not aware. Okay. Then we need to multiply by interest rate. That's 6%. Now, in class, you've learned that you have to convert that to a decimal. The wonderful thing about spreadsheets is if it's expressed as a percentage, it will do that for you. One issue we're going to have is if we drag this formula down, it will also drag down that value for the interest rate to the previous cell where there is no numbers. So the trick is with that, if we want to make something a constant, we need to put some dollar signs on there. Put a dollar sign in front of the B. and a dollar sign after the before the 5. So when we do operations and we drag that down, now it will refer to that interest rate as a constant. So it won't keep moving that value. Okay. We also need to multiply by the time. Sorry, the time in years. So we've got the time in days, and what we need to do is we need to divide by 365. Okay. So then we get our dollar value, which we saw before. Okay. That's the first operation. All right. I might pause the video here and just help people out individually if they're having trouble with that. Okay, let's resume. So let's have a look at the next section. All right. So to work out my final value, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to add, so we're going to equals. I'm going to add, all right, my previous final value there. I'm going to add my interest, which I just calculated. And I'm going to add my monthly deposit. Now, this is another fixed value, so just be careful. Make sure you put dollar signs in front of the B. I actually only learned this trick the other day. I've been using spreadsheets for years, and you still learn things. Yeah, so that is how you can represent that. Now, we're actually already done. Effectively, for this year, we can go and just drag this down. Now, when you drag the first one, it's going to spit errors or give you like nonsense values until you move on to until you do this as well. Okay, if you drag that one down, those all update. Okay, so you notice that actually over 1 year, we're only up to 16,700. So this is going to take more than 1 year. Okay, what we can do is I'm guessing I probably have to go to about 3 years. But my second year is going to be special because next year is a leap year. So I'm going to adjust my formulas accordingly just to be thorough. Now, if you've got a sequence of numbers like this and you want it to just increase, highlight 2 of them and you can drag that down. Okay, so like that. I think that also works for my months as well. If I want to do more months, I just highlight those 2. And I think this should work. Yep, that worked. Okay. Yep, question? All right, yeah. If you got a sequence, like you've got a numerical sequence, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, or January, February, March. Highlight 2 of them, and then click on the box and drag. And it generally works. If you've got something more complicated, you might need to highlight 3 cells. Excel kind of thinks through this stuff. Now, there's a little bit of an issue though. All right, so I'm going to copy and paste this one, and I'm going to do one little adjustment. Okay, next year, there's 29 days. That's going to affect a couple of things. Now, I can just drag down. Actually, the only thing it affects is this cell as well. All right, so all we're going to do is just change that last value to 366. Boom. Okay, so next year, when we'll have to change that back over the following years. So let's have a go. All right, we're now, so at 2 months, and this one's fine, just drag that one, that's fine. Okay, 2 years, we're at 11,000, so we have to go and continue from there. Okay, so you may have to, let's just drag that down a bit more. Okay. All right. So actually, I'm going to see if this works. I'm going to see if I can drag 2 columns at a time. April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Okay. All right. So I think I've done. Serious? That worked? Yep, that worked. Okay. Okay. Yeah. If you just highlight 2 of the cells of the same column, the next one, that one you have to copy paste and you have to change it back to. I mean, there might be some way to do it on Excel. I'm not sure. That one's just probably worth just copy pasting. Actually, no. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go to the first year and copy paste that twice because that's the correct one. That has 28 days. Okay, so copy paste and copy paste. Okay, so we're now up to 4 years. So somewhere between 3 and 4 years, I think we'll hit where we need to be. All right, I'm kind of curious if this works. Let's see if I just copy paste my formulas from the top cell down to the bottom, because that's for the non-leap years. See if that works. Okay, is that referring to the correct cells? I think it is. Yes, it's referring to the previous um, savings amount. It's referring to the number of days there, and it's referring to the interest rate. And it looks kind of consistent with the rest. So that's fine now. Now that you fix that up, and it does say 365. So let's drag that one down. I'm going to drag down all the way to year 4. Okay, and then also drag the last one down. Okay. All right, awesome. So yeah, we've kind of hit the point. So for me, this is where I would stop. So I've gone beyond what I needed, but that's fine. See, my car cost 17,000. So you're waiting until March of I think that'll be 2025, 23, 24, 25. Oh no, this is the last year, 2026. So yeah, close to 4 years. So 39 months. So that's 3 years and a bit. So yeah, 3 years, 3 months. So that's how long I have to wait. So if you've done 14,000 or something to that effect, something close to that, you have to wait until 32 months. That's yours here. All right. So you can basically find where you're at as far as your price. So find where your car price is, and that's where you'll be if you use this option. All right. Happy to take questions, but I'm going to end the recording now. I'll just pause it.